When you think about all of the different things that a motorcycle jean has to achieve, it's actually quite impressive. After all, they've got to be comfortable and look stylish, both on and off the bike, and they've got to give you the same degree of protection of a motorcycle trouser in terms of impact and abrasion resistance. So the easy way to approach that is to have something where there are different layers addressing different parts of that equation. So you might have a denim outer for looks and appearance, you might have an aramid fibre behind that for the abrasion resistance, you might have a layer again for comfort with also pocket for the armour. So potentially you can have lots of different layers, and this then makes them potentially hotter and potentially heavier garments than they would otherwise be. And if the goal is to be as much like our regular jeans that we all love as possible, then the ultimate for a motorcycle jean is having all that in one single layer. And that is what we have here with the Sa1nt Model 3 jeans that I have next to me. This is a jean that uses Dyneema. This is a premium fabric, and this is something with a 6 times higher slide time abrasion resistance than even Kevlar. And it's so good at abrasion resistance, it basically means that if you can tailor it and style it nicely, you can get away with having a single layered jean. There are more single layer jeans emerging in our clothing world than ever before, but Sa1nt have been doing it longer than most. So they have real experience with applying Dyneema in the best way possible. And this Model 3, as you might imagine from the name, is the third version of their Model 1 before and the Model 2 after that. And here we have the Model 3 coming in at a not inexpensive £369. But if you're somebody that wants the single layer experience and wants to have something with the highest performing abrasion resistant fabric, then you are going to be paying quite a premium for it. And having had masses of experience using these over the last few weeks, they definitely have lived up to the price point. I was actually looking for reasons to find them not worthy of such a price, because it's got to be justified, and both myself and one of the other guys here that's been using and racing in them as well have found them to be very impressive indeed. So fundamentally, the fabric of the jean is a Dyneema and Armour blend that Sa1nt have called their Unbreakable 6 denim. And this is incredibly strong, and it exists in different degrees in different areas of the jean. So the high impact areas such as the seat of the pant and also the knees have a 66% blend of the Dyneema, which is essentially an ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, I was saying that, which is a very highly abrasion resistant fibre. So higher densities in those parts, and then 10% versus the 66% in the rest of it. This makes the whole jean very abrasion resistant, and of course with the double stitching throughout, you're also going to get very good tensile strength to those seams, but you get really high levels in those two parts. You get the knee and hip armour included, thankfully at the price, which comes out from the internal pockets with level 1 in the knee and level 2 in the hip as well. These jeans don't have a stretch to the fabric, so this was something that I was thinking would be quite limiting, but the thing about them is that they are a regular cut. So a lot of the jeans that we show you guys are what are sort of termed as slim fit or fitted or tailored, and a lot of the time you guys say that we only ever sell skinny jeans. That's not quite the case, but the fact is that if it's got a stretch in it, I suppose it can get away with being a bit more fitted, whereas these ones don't, and therefore they're described by Sa1nt as a regular fit. I really like the degree of fit to them. It's not baggy at all, but it's not what I would call slim fit. So it's something that should appeal to most people. And what really surprised me was that not having the stretch in the fabric did not cause any problems at all. I've been using these on a flat track experience that we did a few weeks ago, which you can see in one of our previous videos, and been using them to commute in and wear around the office ever since. And then 3 weeks later, this weekend just gone, we also had the Bike Shed Festival where I raced in the Dirt Cup, which was essentially a supercross race, both on and off the race circuit at Liddon Hill. So it was off-road and everything in between. So it's a really good testing ground. I also wore these continually all weekend, even slept in them because it was so cold in my tent. So I had a very good degree of experience in them. And in a lot of those conditions on the racetrack, you're having to contort your body into quite odd positions. And there was no point at which I felt like these were constricting my movement at all. One of the other guys, Phil, who works here in the warehouse, he raced in the Easy Rider Cup on his Harley in these as well, and had exactly the same thoughts and positive feedback that I did. And what we would both say though is the sizing is definitely one size generous. So Sa1nt's own website says they fit true to size, disregard that. We have enough jean experience to know exactly where the reference point is, and it's one size generous, spot on one size generous. So you simply need to go one size down, of course. Leg length and everything else was perfect. Tailoring was really good as well. So in terms of what else goes on in the jeans, Of course, the horizontal stitching that you can see with those panels on the knees and the seat of the pants does slightly give away the functional element to them. It suggests they have a purpose. I quite like that, but of course, if you're after the purity, simplistic look of a jean in your motorcycle jean, just to be basically a covert motorcycle jean, that's going to detract from it, but it doesn't for me at all. I love the Sa1nt logo branding just on the little button here, just above the zipper fly. Other features than that, not much going on. You've got the standard 2 pockets around the back. You've got 3 belt loops in this middle section, which of course is great for getting the jeans done up nice and tight with no gap at all in this central section. Because sometimes if you only have 2 of the 3 that we have here, you do get a sag point, and that can be really annoying. Otherwise, you've got just the Sa1nt patch on the back as well, and you've got the contrast orange inside the pockets and on a few of these little labels that we have here too. So the actual fabric itself has CE certification according to the professional standard of motorcycle safety equipment. Confusingly, this is a whole separate world to the AAA, AAA rating that we have been mentioning more and more lately. This is something required of professional motorcycle riders. So if you are somebody like a police rider that uses motorcycle gear in a professional capacity, you have to have a whole separate category of clothing. And it has to be standardized to a very high threshold of things like abrasion resistance. So the fabric itself here achieves that. So this is partly why we are seeing a jean here at a premium price point. But if you're looking for a Dyneema single layer jean, you're going to be paying a premium. Is it worth it? Well, that's entirely up to you. But having used these extensively, I've been very impressed by them, and I will continue to use these day to day as well. So in stock and available now. If you have any questions, comments or feedback, we always love to hear from you guys, so leave that in the section below, and stay tuned and do subscribe if you want to see more video reviews of the world's finest riding gear. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.